Now then, this is Indie Means Independent. Today we're going to be reviewing a truly independent folk film from folk filmmaking term coining Dan Lotz. For those of you who don't know what film folk making is, here's a link. And for those of you who also don't know, Dan Lotz has just embarked on a project called the 12 Features Project. It's quite self-explanatory. He's going to be making 12 feature films over the space of 12 months, or at least shooting them, and this is the first completed one. 6 Days Alone is about a man who spends, you guessed it, 6 days alone while his wife is out of town, and what he discovers during that time might change him forever. But will what we discover change us? Let's see. The film starts with this vlog-style approach with Dan playing himself, or a very close version of himself. It's kind of hard to tell where reality ends there, because his acting capabilities have come on in leaps and bounds from what I've seen in this film and from the teaser from Ramen Sucker Punch. He's developing a sort of energy on screen that he didn't have before, and it's not a diss to his old films. I love the sort of sun-drenched chilledness of Chlorine and the other films. There was a certain vibe there, but it seems like he's now going into a sort of a new, sort of more aggressive, darker, realer area.
I'm just joking with you guys.
As the film develops, it quickly becomes more complicated with this sort of meta-editing techniques and mind games that place us in and outside of the action. So we start to forget where we are on the timeline. Are we awake now? Are we asleep? Are we dreaming? And it's really sort of stimulating and disorientating, and it reminded me a bit of the Haunting of Hill House, where once you've seen something in the corner of the frame, you just suddenly realise that there is more than just sort of the person in the middle who's talking, the very sort of simplistic thing there. There is a whole frame there, and I think in modern cinema you forget that sometimes, because the focus of every frame is so singular and simple. You forget that there is a whole frame there. But in things like this, where it stimulates you to look further, you become sort of paranoid and thinking, what's that doing? Did that just move? Stuff like that, and I think it's really good for the cinema to remind people of that. It's like the work of Michael Haneke. It just reminded me, when I was at uni, one of our lecturers at uni was giving us a lecture on mise en scène. You know, if you're really going to be film students, you have to study everything that's going on in the frame, okay? Is what he said. And then he immediately moved on to his next topic, which was films that have unresolved endings. And he cited Michael Haneke's Hidden Cache as an example of a film that has an unresolved ending. Did he watch that film? What the fuck is he on? Like, did he actually watch that film? Like, this may be spoilers for some people, but that film is resolved. Look at the frame properly, you clown.
I knew it was that simple. But this is not what I signed up for.
But all these ideas and experiments, sort of, they work very well. You start to lose track of where you are, what's real, what isn't, and you're kind of reminded of the sort of magic time travel aspect of cinema. But as we get towards the end of the film, it turns into sort of Batman versus Superman, where it has built up all these interesting ideas and stuff, and then goes, oh, hang on, we're nearly done. We need a big bang finish. And suddenly all that mystery that was in the frame goes away, because we go into the sort of standard bugbear of found footage films where the camera's actually framed perfectly to tell you exactly what's going on. And suddenly we're speeding towards some sort of conclusion, when really some sort of lurking, lingering, unresolved mystery would have left a bigger impact, probably. I don't know, ask Stanley. And it really reminded me of Enemy in that way, and why I didn't like that film. I love it when a filmmaker doesn't explain themselves or doesn't pander to the audience, but like, I smell fish when they don't give enough information to explain anything. It's like the mystique around the film's meaning is more important than it actually having a meaning. Just my opinion, but I think it's much more admirable for a filmmaker to leave their audience talking about the themes of the film, rather than leaving the film talking about what they thought the themes of the film were.
That's good. That is fucking good.
Like, it's the difference between someone saying, so what do you think of free market economics? I was all for them until I watched this film, and now I've changed my mind. And someone saying, I think that film was about free market economics. No, I think it was about transhumanism. Okay. The conversation just ends there. You see, one of them is a conversation and the other is just an opinion that can't really be questioned. It's like, did OJ do it or not? I don't know, I wasn't there. But people will talk for hours about it, and it's just...
Well,
just do a couple more days of shooting of stuff like this, and then we'll see what happens.
So 6 Days Alone, an interesting experiment that Dan threw his all in onto the acting, and he threw all of his ideas in there, but it may have benefited of him actually picking them up and piecing them together in a more coherent way. So we would have a sort of a full film and not just sort of a canvas for fan theories. But still interesting, worth a watch. And it's quite short as well, so like Enemy I couldn't be bothered going back to watch again, but I have watched this twice now. I might give it another go. And I'm still looking forward to the other 12 Features projects. Link will be in the description as always. Please do watch the film. If you do watch the film, tell them that we sent you. Don't forget that indie means independent. Peace out.